Hey, laid back topics. How y'all doing? I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm finally getting to do a regular reading with y'all in the book of Genesis, the Old Testament. We're going to continue our reading, and we got like three stories. They really good. I like them. And I hope this light not too bright for y'all. And I got a surprise for y'all. Look at this. I hope y'all can see it. Let me move my little light. I hope y'all can see it. For those who go on my shorts, y'all know I do daily the daily word of the day and the quotes, different quotes of the day. And this is a book I found. It's so beautiful. I know y'all probably can barely see that, but I'm gonna read it to y'all. It says, "So remain strong in the faith. Put the belt of truth around your waist. Put the armor of godliness on your chest." Inspirational journal, everyday scriptures and quotes about truth and encourage and uplift you. Isn't that amazing? So at the top here, hopefully you can see that. You probably can't see that. There's a little quote, a Bible verse here, and it has a word in a bold letters at the top, which the first word is truth. So we're gonna start on that word tomorrow. Excuse me, I don't know why every time I get in front of y'all, I got the hiccups and everything else, and it don't start until I get on camera. So but at the end of the video, I got two special people is gonna be joining us and participating with it, and I'm gonna let them one of them read the quote, and then they gonna read the Bible verse to y'all. And tomorrow, starting tomorrow, Gospel, our word of the day is gonna be truth, and y'all know we're gonna do the definition of it, truth, and an inspirational quote. Okay, so that's that. And this is not promoting anything. I'm not doing any of that. Okay, I just thought this little book was so cute and it would be perfect for our journey. And I was looking for a name on here. I don't see none, but I do give a shout out to Crowns Jewels. It's a beautiful book and I love it, and I just had to get it. And I just thought it was perfect for laid back topics for our little fam when we on the cam. Know what I'm saying? So that's one of them. We got a long segment today, y'all. So y'all be patient. I also felt the need to give y'all a short message at the end of the video, and I feel like somebody need that. So y'all stay with me. And our first story tonight we're gonna be doing is Isaac is born, chapter 21, Genesis. Okay. So y'all ready? Y'all comfortable? Y'all know the routine. Go get y'all snuggie, y'all drink, y'all some snacks, and let's get with it. Isaac is born. The Lord graciously remembered and visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for her as he had promised. So Sarah conceived and gave birth to a son for Abraham in his old age, at the appointed time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham named his son Isaac. Laughter is what Isaac means. The son to whom Sarah gave birth. So Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 years old, just as God has commanded him. Every time I read this part, I keep thinking about what happened with my son, my son at a young age. And I just feel like it's so connected, like that was none but God. It made like a loud statement after I read this. I just felt like, wow, that's something. Um, if y'all remember one we read, which we're gonna do the recap on that about when God made the covenant with Abraham for circumcision. Okay, so when my son was small, he was born really tiny and kind of sick, so he couldn't be circumcised at the time. And then as he grew, and he did his checkups or whatever, the doctor was like, well, he fine, it's not a problem now or whatever. But then one day he took sick and he ended up having to get circumcised. So he did it, everything went fine, and that was years ago because my children grown now. But I'm just learning, y'all. I have learned so much by reading the Bible and sharing these things with y'all. It came to my real, I realized like my son was 8 years old when he ended up having to get circumcised. And the cool part about it is it was the same month of his birthday, right after he turned 8. He just happened to get circumcised, and at the same time, he was already, without us even thinking about it or realizing it, he just happened to get baptized again at 8 years old. So it's like he was double blessed without us even knowing it. And if you remember the story that we read about the covenant of the circumcision, it kind of dawned on me because I thought, like, okay, well, that was God's work right there. I could be wrong, but I feel like, wow, that's something that really stood out to me. So I just thought I'll share that with y'all. They say God work in mysterious ways. That's crazy. Okay, so Abraham named his son Isaac, which means laughter, the son to whom Sarah gave birth. So Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, just as God has commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born. Wow. To think 100 years old. He had to have been in good shape. He probably was like feeling like he was 30, 20 years old at 100 years old. So what I be telling a lot of people, they be like, oh, I'm getting old and, I feel old and this and that. Don't think that way, Compared to biblical times, we are babies. 50 years old is a baby compared to how they used to live to be 900 years old in biblical times. Sarah said, God has made me laugh. All who hear about our good news will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have given birth to a son by him in his old age. The child grew and was weaned, and Abraham held a great feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. Sarah turned against Hagar. Now, as time went on, Sarah saw Ishmael, the son of Agar, the Egyptian, who she had borne to Abraham, mocking Isaac. Therefore she said to Abraham, drive out this maid and her son, for the son of this maid shall not be an heir with my son Isaac. The situation distressed Abraham greatly because of his son Ishmael. God said to Abraham, do not let it distress you because of Ishmael and your maid. Whatever Sarah tells you, listen to her and do what she asks for you. For your descendants will be named through Isaac. And I will also make a nation of Ishmael, the son of the maid, because he is your descendant. So Abraham got up early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar, putting them on her shoulder, and gave her the boy and sent her away. And she left, but lost her way and wandered aimlessly in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was all gone, Agar abandoned the boy under one of the bushes. That's so crazy. That had to have been so hard for her to do. Then she went and sat down opposite him, about a bow shot away. For she said, do not let me see the boy die. And as she sat down opposite him, she raised her voice and wept. God heard the voice of the boy, and the angel of God called to Agar from heaven and said to her, what troubles you, Agar? Do not be afraid of God has heard the voice of the boy from where he is. Get up, help the boy up, and hold him by the hand, for I will make him a great nation. Then God opened her eye. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the empty skin with water, and gave the boy a drink. God was with Ishmael, and he grew and developed, and he lived in the wilderness, and became an expert acre, archer, archer. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt, covenanted with Abimelech. Abimelech. I'm saying it right. I know I keep saying that man name wrong. I didn't call Abimelech all kind of names so it don't make sense. Now at that time, Abimelech and Fiscal, the commander of his army, said to Abraham, God is with you in everything you do. So now swear to me, here by God, that you will not deal unfaithfully with me by breaking any agreements we have, or with my son, or with my descendants. I remember, like my mama always did say, your word is all you have. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you say, if you say something, don't say something that you know you can't do. You know, you always got to keep your word. Do your best to keep your word. So now swear to me here by God that you will not deal unfairly with me by breaking any agreements we have, or with my son, or with my descendants. But as I have treated you with kindness, you shall do the same to me and to the land in which you have sojourned. Temporarily lived is what it means. And Abraham said, I will swear. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech, Abimelech about a well of water, which the servant of Abimelech had violently seized from him. Abimelech said, I do not know who did this thing. Indeed, you did not tell me, and I did not hear of it until today. Y'all remember hearing like a point in time where all people had was like they handshake for agreements? You ever heard of that? Like, you ever heard in a point in time, like in history, back then, all they had was like they handshake to make a agreement, like they shook on it. Like, if you say something, you had to do it. So, like, if they would disagree, I mean, well, back out of it, then what would happen? They would try to kill them, or would they arrest them? I guess it depends on who it was with. Yeah. He went back on his word. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. I can't wait till we get to that part. Oh, y'all, it's gonna get interesting. I hope y'all heard that. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water, which I just read that, which the servant of Abimelech had violently seized from him. Abimelech said, I do not know who did this thing. Indeed, you did not tell me, and I do not hear of it until today. So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a covenant, binding agreement. That's what a covenant is. This then Abraham set apart 7 ewes. What's that? Look like I heard of that. Ewees? Ewe? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It's EWE. I was thinking of e-news, but e-news not spelt like that. I'm wondering like if that's the same thing, y'all. Ewus, they lambs. Josh, get that for me, please, if you don't mind. I'm sorry, y'all. Is it how it's pronounced? Ewu? Ew? Ooh? Oh, ooh. Ew. I can't never get that right. I hope that like not too bright for y'all. Y'all all right like that? But yeah, it's a lamb, so it's a female lamb. Okay, learn something new every day. Okay, then Abraham set apart 7 e Ewus? Ewees? Huh? You? Ew. Oh, like ew. Ew. Ew lambs of the flock. And Abimelech said to Abraham, what is the meaning of this 7 ewe lambs? Which I know y'all be laughing at me. Which you have set apart. Abraham said, you are to accept these 7 ewe lambs from me as a witness for me that I dug this well. Therefore, that place was called Beersheba, well of the oak, or well of the 7, because there the two of them swore an oath. So they made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, got up and returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree at Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord in prayer. The eternal God and Abraham lived as a resident alien, not like alien, but alien, in the land of the Philistines for many days. The offering of Isaac. Now, after these things, God tested the faith and commitment of Abraham and said to him, Abraham, he answered, here I am. I love that. God said, take now your son, your only son of promise, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah, Moriah, Moriah. I learned that the H sound is the breath of life. Ha. Like Moriah. How you say it? Moriah. 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 Okay, so we're going to call it Moriah. Okay. And offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. So Abraham got up early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him and his son Isaac. And he split the wood for the burnt offering. And then he got up and went to the place of which God had told him. On the 3rd day of travel, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. Abraham said to his servants, settle down and stay here with the donkey. The young man and I will go over there and worship God, and we will come back to you. Then Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it on the shoulders of Isaac, his son. It's getting good, y'all. Y'all remember that part. Abraham told the 2 men, excuse me. Abraham said to his servants, settle down and stay here with the donkeys. The young man and I will go over there and worship God, and we will come back to you. He said, and we will come back to you. Abraham had faith in God. He had strong faith in God because God told him to go and offer his son up, you know, do a burnt offering of his son. And he told the two men, we're gonna come back to you. Abraham said to his servant, settle down and stay here with the donkey. The young man and I will go over there and worship God, and we will come back to you. It's like Abraham knew, he had so much faith in God. He was like, we both gonna come back. Did the men, y'all? The men didn't know what was gonna happen, what was going on, huh? He didn't tell his servants that he was going over there to give his son up as a burnt offering. Then Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it on the shoulders of Isaac his son. And he took the fire pot in his own hand and the sacrificial knife, and the two of them walked on together. Then Isaac said to Abraham, my father, and he said, here I am. I love that. My wood, my son, here I am, my son. Isaac said, look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham said, my son, God will provide for himself a lamb for the burnt offering. So the two walked on together. When they came to the place of which God had told him, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood and bound Isaac his son. Placed him on the altar on top of the wood. Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to kill his son. But the angels of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. He answered, here I am. Sir, the Lord said, do not reach out with the knife in your hand against the boy, and do nothing to harm him. For now I know that you fear God with reverence and profound respect, since you have not withheld from me your son, your only son of promise. Then Abraham looked up and glanced around, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up for a burnt offering, a sending sacrifice instead of his son. So Abraham named the place, the Lord will provide. Wow, that's cool. And it is said to this day, on the mountain of the Lord it will be seen and provided. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, by myself, on the base of who I am, I have sworn an oath, declares the Lord, that since you have done this thing and have not withheld from me your son, your only son of promise, indeed, I will greatly bless you, and I will greatly multiply your descendants like the stars of the heavens and like the sand on the seashore, and your seed shall possess the gate of their enemies as conquerors. There your seed, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have heard and obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his servants, and they got up and went with him to Beersheba, and Abraham settled in Beersheba. Sheba. I get tongue tied. Now after these things, Abraham was told, Melech has born children. You know who I'm talking about? Abimelech. What's her name? No, it don't have a BM. It is Mil Milak Milkat Milka Cah. Milka has born children to your brother Nahor. Y'all forgive me for them names. Use, how you say it? Ooze, Uzi, use, Uzi, use, ooze. We gonna say ooze. The firstborn, and Buzz, his brother. Don't even say that. We know his name not Buzz, but it's spelled Buzz, Buz. His brother, and Camille, the father of Aram, Shees, Chase, Shays, and Hazo, and Fildash, and Zalat. Y'all know them names is wrong. Y'all know all them names is wrong. But that's the descendants, okay? And Bethel. Bethel became the father of Rebecca. Rebecca. That it really do sound like it could be Rebecca, but it's not. CCA is Rebek, Bekeh. Rebecca. These 8 children Malak bore to Hanor, Abraham's brother, Anor's concubine, Nahor's concubine, whose name was Rumai, Rimai, Rimai gave birth to Tebek. Now we know that was not a common name, but we didn't heard that name before. And Gaham, and Tahasha, Tasha, and Mahek. Whew, that was a journey. Them names, just that little paragraph, that was a journey. I didn't travel from here to California with them names. Death and brutal of Sarah. Oh goodness. Sarah lived 127 years. This was the length of the life of Sarah. She lived a long time. Sarah died in Kuwait Harbor. That is Hebron in the land of Canaan. We're going to just say Sarah died in the land of Canaan, okay? And Abraham went to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Him and Isaac was gone when she died. I'm thinking so because he came back to mourn her. Abraham went to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Then Abraham stood up before his dead wife's body and spoke to the son of Het, Hanites, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner, resident alien, among you. Give, sell me property for a burial place among you, so that I may bury my dead in the property in the proper manner. The Hittites replied to Abraham, Listen to us, my Lord. You are the Prince of God, a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our graves. None of us will refuse you his grave or hinder you from burying your dead wife. So Abraham stood up and bowed to the people of the land, the Hittites. And Abraham said to them, If you are willing to grant my dead a proper burial, listen to me and plead with Hepharon, the son of Zahar, for me, so that he may give or sell parentheses me the cave of Machpelah. Y'all know the cave? Y'all know how to pronounce it? Machpelah, 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 which he owns. It is at the end of his field. Let him give it to me here in your presence for the full price as a burial site, which I may keep forever among you. Now Ephron was present there among the sons of Het. So within the hearing of all the sons of Het and all who were entering the gates of his city, Ephron the Hittites answered Abraham, saying, No, my Lord, hear me. I give you the entire field, and I also give you the cave that is in it, in the presence of the men of my people. I give, parentheses, sell it to you. Bury your dead there. Dang, they had respect for Abraham. They knew who he was. That's so nice. Then, huh? Oh, yeah. Then Abraham bowed down before the people of the land. He said to Ephron, In the presence of the people of the land, if you will only please listen to me and accept my offer, I will give you the price of the field. Accept it from me, and I will bury my dead there. Dang. He ain't wanted to take it, he wanted to pay for it. Ephron replied to Abraham, My Lord, listen to me. The land you seek is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? So bury your dead. So Abraham listened to Ephron and agreed to his terms, and he weighed out for Ephron the amount of silver which he had named in the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver, according to the weights current amount among the merchants. He really wanted to pay for it. I guess it was like when he told the guy, I forgot who that was, invited him to dinner. Yeah, and he told him, I don't want nothing from you. Give it to my men. Like, he proud. He was proud. He like ain't wanted to no hand, yep, no handout. He wanted to pay what he owed. So Abraham listened. Okay, I read that part. So the fear of Ephron in Canaan, well, no, Macaphle, Macaphle. I be having so much trouble with them names, which was to the east of Mamre. Okay, it was in Mamre, y'all. The field and the cave which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, and in all its borders around it, were deeded over legally to Abraham as his possession in the presence of the Hittites before all who were entering at the gates of his city. After this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Mephilah. We're going to leave it as that. To the east of Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. What I told y'all, the land of Canaan, the land of Canaan. The field and the cave in it were deeded over to Abraham by the Hittites as a permanent possession and burial place. Oh, he put in that cave and that whole area. I wonder, like, you think he just dedicated the whole area to her. Shay baby. A bride of Isaac. Now, dang, Abraham was busy. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. Abraham said to his servants, Elijah of Damascus, the oldest of his household, who had charge over all that Abraham owned, please put your hand under my thigh, as is customary for affirming a solemn oath, and I will make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I live, but you will instead go to my former country. Okay, we're going to try to work this word out. Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia. I was close. I was close. And to my relatives, and take a wife for my son Isaac, the heir of the covenant promise. The servant said to him, suppose the woman will not be willing to follow me back to the country. Should I take your son back to the country from which you came? Abraham said to him, see to it that you do not take my son back there. The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house, from the land of my family and my birth, who spoke to me and swore to me, saying, to your descendants I will give you this land. He will send his angels before you to guide you, and you will take a wife from there for my son and bring her here. Can you imagine, like, in our everyday life, if we could, like, if we would just have angels come and confront us and talk to us, and then we can hear God's voice out of the heavens, like, so, like, it literally, that's crazy to think about how it was back in biblical times. That is spectacular, because you can hear them straight away. You don't have no excuses to say, well, I wasn't sure what to do. You could not say none of that. Look, you heard that voice, you better do, no playing around. Dang. If the woman is not willing to follow you to the land, then you will be free from this, my oath, and blameless. Only you must never take my son back there. So the servants put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camels, and set out, taking some of his master's good things with him. So he got up and journeyed to, how you pronounce the word? Mesopotamium. Mesopotamium. Potamia. Uh-huh. Between the Tigris and the Euphrates River, to the city of Nahor, the home of Abraham's brother. He made the camels kneel down outside the city by the well of water at the time of the evening, when women go out to draw water. And he said, O Lord God of my master Abraham, please grant me success today, and show loving kindness, faithfulness to my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here at the spring of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming out to draw water. Now, let it be that the girl to whom I say, please let down your jar so that I may have a drink, and she replies, drink, and I will also give you camels water to drink, your camels water to drink. May she be the one whom you have selected as a wife for your servant Isaac. And by this I will know that you have shown loving kindness, faithfulness to my master. Rebecca is chosen. Dang, y'all. I must have was reading and reading and reading. I didn't think we had then got that far. I really didn't think we had read all of that just that fast. Well, y'all, we stopped on Rebecca is chosen will be our next chapter we're gonna start on, which is really still in chapter 24, but we're gonna start there tomorrow. I hope y'all enjoyed these stories. I enjoyed the stories. It showed a lot and it says a lot within these stories about how Abraham, the relationship between God and Abraham, and how, you know, Abraham trusted God so much he was willing to lay down his son, the same as God did for us. You know, sacrifice his son for us so that we can have all that we have, the love and the forgiveness of our sins and the grace, and that we will be one day with God. You know, we have that choice now. We have that chance to do all we need to do to have a strong relationship with God. And Abraham was willing to do the same thing for God. That goes to show you, you know, how how much he trusted in God, and to say all that he did and the relationship that he had with God, how others, you know, seen that and they had much respect for Abraham because of the relationship he had with God and his word. You know, their words meant something back then. Their words was they bond back then, you know, and they lived up to that. So we learned so much and in these stories, and I really enjoyed these stories. And before we close out, we're gonna start with our first quote in the book of Truth. And Josh will be reading the first quote, which I love. Josh, you ready? Okay, you guys. Can you see it? You need the light. It's dim in here, y'all. I'm sorry.
I don't see nothing.
At the top. I'm so sorry.
The Lord is near to all who call on him, to call all who call on him in truth.
Okay, read the
Psalms 145:18.
yeah. So Ark is gonna be reading you verse 18 from Psalms. Thank you, Josh. The verse bud that I pulled up.
Not the same one, huh?
Huh?
That's the same one.
What, the verse?
Yeah, one else before.
Yeah, but it's the full verse, verse 18 on my phone. I gave it to you, it's over there. But you might have to come right here so they can hear you. The
Okay.
last video, y'all go watch the last video for Valentine's Day. I had Josh in the video, but the computer really did not pick him up at all. And I wish y'all would have heard some of the things we was discussing.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's the same.
Okay.
The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth.
Mm-hmm.
Psalm 145 verse 18.
That's the whole verse, 18.
That's that's the whole verse of Psalm 45, 145.
That's verse 18.
Yeah, the same
It
verse.
seemed it seemed longer than that when I read it.
Let's read multiple verses.
Uh-uh. Let me
Because
show you.
it's chapter 145.
Yeah, I read all of this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's multiple verses.
so that is verse 18. The Lord is not unto all. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna do verse 19. He will fulfill, oh, thank you, Art. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry and will save them. The Lord preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak the praise of the Lord, and all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I read two or three from 18 to 20. So y'all could go look up the whole verse. Like when I did give the frontal arc, I was reading from 1 to 18. I was like, well, it seemed kind of long, but it wasn't. So anyway, I thought about this earlier, and I don't know why this came to me, but it makes sense to me to say this to somebody who, and I hope and pray somebody who needs to hear this, find this video and listen to this message carefully. Okay, short message. For all those who is having trouble forgiving yourselves for whatever the reason may be, I just want to tell you it is okay to forgive yourself. Mistakes happen. No, God have already forgiven you for it now. He needs you to forgive yourself now. So now you can go kneel before him and ask him to help you forgive yourself and ask him to forgive you sincerely. Ask him sincerely with all your heart and soul. And then you will know that he understands your hurt and he forgives you, because a weight will be lifted off of you. I believe this. I have done this. I have faith in this. So you do too. And remember, tomorrow is a brand new day. A brand new chance. I believe tomorrow is a brand new chance to start fresh and renewed. So, y'all, I hope this helps somebody. I hope somebody who needed to hear this have heard this and believe in this and, you know, let go. Don't let the past eat away at you. Okay? We discuss all the time. You know, we human, we make mistakes. The thing is, we're supposed to learn from our mistakes and try to do better. So I hope that have helped someone in some kind of way. I hope I was able to put a smile on y'all face and some knowledge in y'all heads. And I hope that this video leave something of a positive point. At this point in time, I hope this video give y'all something positive in y'all lives. And this will conclude the segment for laid back topics tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all had a good day. Be grateful for all that you have, because there's always somebody that has it worse than us. Remember that. And I'll see y'all next time. Stay laid back and humble. Love you. Kisses, kisses, kisses. Love you, love you, love you. Much, 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 much. Peace, y'all.